So today's topic is how to build 100 crores of portfolio. And it is absolutely unconventional way of investing. I would say that it is beyond traditional investing. So therefore, we'll have to understand the same in detail. Let me just begin by sharing my story first. When I laid down the foundation of this organization in 2020, it was, I remember, during the COVID time, the total, we started from scratch, zero. So when I built the foundation, one thing was very clear that, we wanted to go beyond traditional way of investing, which is fixed deposits or recurring deposits. And those days, deposits in post office was also very famous, and investing in government bonds, etc. We wanted to go beyond that, and we wanted to create a family office solution for our HNIs and ultra HNIs clients. So we felt that, my journey to 0 to 1,000 crore AUM was a little bit of volatile, I would say, quite challenging initially. But then we did that. So you can also do it. So we'll share that with you. So this was me. I did my MBA from ISBM, International School of Business and Media. And then I was very passionate about investing in equity markets. So I used to come to Bombay Stock Exchange and uh, understand how do investors. And those days, trading used to be in fashion, in the sense that people were very much keen to get into day-to-day price, and they were very passionate about doing trading, and I was also doing a lot of trading. So I used to follow the only price, highly passionate but full of ignorance, and had very little amount of skill to understand. And those days, number of stocks which were registered in SEBI were as high as 2,500 to 3,000. So very low in terms of skill, very high luck focused, but I still made money. I still made money. Is that those days we had only 30,000 rupees to invest, and that became 1.5 lakh rupees, despite so much of problems. So one thing that I've realized, and I'll take you through these slides very quickly, is the role of luck in equity investing. While the luck is important, but if you don't have proper skill and knowledge, then you cannot be dependent only on luck. And if you have skills which you sharpen every day, a knowledge which you build every day, over a period of time, that gets translated into wisdom. And once you have right wisdom, and if you follow the right process, then you truly deserve the right uh, success. Well, this was my guru. I got it in 2012. 12, I remember. 2011, sorry. 2011, I met Mr. Ramdev Agrawal. I used to follow him from Raipur, because I am from Raipur. He is also from Raipur. And I remember he was given richest man award from Chhattisgarh by Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh those days. So he made a lot of money there, and I used to follow him. And 2012, he offered me a job, and I started working for him at Motilal Oswal. I was part of the asset management business. And then 2015, he introduced me to his guru, and that is Warren Buffett. And uh, he kind of we both traveled to US, Omaha, and attended Berkshire Hathaway's AGM. And till even 2015, I was not so well studied man, I would say, in terms of following the right processes. Now, this was the hall. I remember distinguishingly that there were about 35,000 to 40,000 people sitting together in a stadium like this. And you have both Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger explaining the philosophy of investment. So it's like a nirvana of, or a pilgrimage for investors like us to visit there and understand. And after coming back, got very serious, completely transformed myself, and read all the Warren Buffett's letter, which was issued from 1958 to 2026. And those letters used to had a lot of depth in terms of understanding how investments should be looked at. We generally come with an equity market from 3 year, 5 year perspective. But when you want to create and a lot of people don't know Warren Buffett became billionaire when he was 58-year-old. So a lot of wealth comes to you when, if you build a compounding machine. So when you invest, you actually should look at 10, 20, 30 years of investments, and how do you create a machine which will continue to deliver consistent returns. But generally, we come with 3, 5 years of perspective and try to time the markets, and that's where we get failed. So I read all the news letters of Mr. Warren Buffett. Then one second, Chetan, uh, yeah, Sanket, can you come? Right. And then there is one book that I read over there is that all I want to know is where am I going to die? So I will never go there. So all I want to know is where am I going to die? So I will never go there. Um, then, Buffett's way of investing. So I started digging deeper into it, and then realized that he was his guru was Benjamin Graham, and he actually originated this concept of value investing. What do you mean by value investing? Is something which is available at 100 rupees now, but the intrinsic value of that company could be 200 or 300. And how do you calculate the intrinsic value is by calculating the futuristic cash flow and the return on equities. Now, and then see to it that the same is from a valuation perspective looks cheap at this point of time. And that is called value investing. So, there are different style of investing. You have value investing, then you have GARP, which is growth at a reasonable price. Then you have sometimes you need to be contrarian as well. Like if everybody is selling IT, you should be buying IT. So there are contrarian investors also. And then there is something called quant investing, which is human plus machine both put together, create their own algorithm and try to generate an additional alpha. So these are different ways of doing it. So one thing that you can give it to your children, yeah, like if Neeraj Bhai is there and Neeraj Bhai wants to give a gift to his daughter, Neeraj sir. So the biggest gift that you can offer to your daughter is to make her buy this book called Poor Charlie's Element. The book is like this much size. I think the cost would be, I think 25, 30,000 rupees of this book. And read it like a Gita, like the way I do it. So every day I try to cover two pages, and the kind of wisdom that you get is amazing. So if Chandan sir, you want to buy it for your son, maybe you can make him buy. If Samir sir, you want to buy it for your daughter, you do it. I mean, all of you are capable, but how do you? And it's not about investing. You get different wisdom altogether. Like a lot of Gen Zs I see these days. I mean, no denying on the fact that they will be doing much better than what we have done in our life. No question on that. But there are times that you require when you need some amount of patience. For example, currently the way markets are going through, and some of the other countries, because of the AI investments, their market caps are going up like crazy, but not to forget that it is not a fundamental growth. It is a tactical growth because none of these AI businesses are making profits. And unless they make profits, you know, the historical way of doing a valuation is to see that you buy into profitable companies. So otherwise, we've seen these cycles many times. Samir sir must have seen this cycle at least 5, 6 times in his career, and every time he ended up learning one thing which stayed with him always is that fundamental always works. You know, it's like stock markets are like a slaves of the earnings, and eventually the earnings and the prices match with each other. That's a sangam, like a Ganga and Jamuna sangam, which eventually takes place. And sometimes you see that prices are ahead of the earnings, sometimes earnings are ahead of the prices, but eventually they mirror, mirror each other. The other book that you can, let's say, give it to your children is The Joy of Compounding. Now, the joy of compounding is basically, it's a concept which is very famous, but highly misunderstood. We'll see to it in the next slide. Then, I started reading these books of my own guru, Mr. Ramdev Agarwal. So some of the richest learning is every year he would lock himself in the cabin for about 45 to 60 days, would not talk to anybody, and would spend whole time in coming out with the concept, which is like picking up the trend and then doing sort of introspection in terms of analysis कि मार्केट में कैसे स्टॉक मार्केट में पैसा बना. जैसे उन्होंने एक स्टोरी निकाली थी 100x, दिस बुक. ना 100x में उन्होंने बताया था कि देर आर 150 कंपनीज विच हैज ग्रोन 100x इन द लास्ट 30 years इन द स्टॉक मार्केट्स. उसके पहले उन्होंने निकाली थी एक बुक अनकॉमन प्रॉफिट फ्रॉम कॉमन स्टॉक्स. मतलब ये है कि you don't need to really identify new companies. If you are an investor and not a trader, then you can actually create your wealth through common stocks. Now, which are the common stocks? For example, Bajaj Finance. Now, everybody talks negative about Bajaj Finance because Mr. Saurabh Mukherjee has invested in the business. A lot of people don't know that Bajaj Finance has grown more than 250 times in the last 25 years in terms of giving returns to the investor in terms of the market cap. So you don't need too many new Bajaj Finance. You can continue to invest there, and company is growing very fast. They are the first one to adopt the AI model, and 30% of their loan is happening through AI now. Then there is something called economic moat. What is economic moat? Is like there was a time when Shivaji Maharaj or these uh, people, these kingdoms, the king of these kingdoms used to have their own castles, and in that castle you have like Daulatabad, or there is some one fort in near Aurangabad where in terms of height it is very heighted, and they create a moat around the castle and put some water into it so that nobody should be able to jump uh, above the wall and should not be able to attack. That's called moat. Similarly, you have moat in the businesses, which can be a competitive advantage of the businesses, and that would go a long way in terms of ensuring that if Bajaj Finance has their digital as their economic mode, and if that businesses you see that that is sustainable for next 20, 30 years, then you will see the company will continue to make money. So these are different ways of looking at it. Blue chip investing, that's like one way of looking at that. If you are someone who doesn't like too much of roller coaster ride, then you can pick up blue chip investing. You can perhaps invest in stocks like Reliance, which has very, very little downside, and these businesses continue to do well over a period of time. Anyways, I can keep on talking about it and it'll never get ended. So then what I decided is after having 24 years of experience, 24 years of experience, I thought that, I would, and this is also picked up from one of the consultant who used to work for Charlie Munger, and his name is Chet Home. He says that instead of doing 10,000 things one time, you should do one thing 10,000 times and keep on repeating it. And over a period of time, you will become experts. And I felt that you have a lot of wealth management companies which will help you invest in mutual funds or bonds, but you don't have any specific companies. Like when you have a pain in your throat, you go to ENT specialist. You have pain in your teeth, you go to dentist, and you don't go to MBBS anymore. I think the time has come where in the wealth management also people prefer to go to specialist, someone, and you become specialist only after you fail at least 10,000 times, then only you become specialist. And if you keep on doing the same thing again and again, obviously you will get some failures, and that will make you become even more better. So we decided we'll do only alternate investing, which is AIF, PMS, SIF, international investing, Gift City, creating a family office solution. A lot of people don't know that if you have mutual funds and if you pledge that mutual fund and create a hedge strategy, you can generate an additional 1% returns. Well, there are some family offices who are successful in doing it. There are some who are not. I mean, they are getting failure. So it's on them to see to it that what kind of strategy they follow and what kind of returns they generate. And if your mutual fund, let's say, is generally delivering you about 12% returns, and if that also delivers 12% returns, so or 13 each, then you become 26%. So if you're growing anything at 26%, then you can see the chart here. For example, if you have 1 crore rupees today, or you give 1 crore to your son or a daughter, and say that, look, beta, my portfolio is growing at 26%. If your portfolio is growing at 26%, in 5 years, 1 crore becomes 3.2 crores. But in 10 years, it becomes 10 crores. In 15 years, it becomes 32 crores. But in 20 years, it becomes 100 crores. So in 30 years, it becomes 1,000 crores. Which means if you have 1 crore growing at 26% year on year, then your 1 crore becomes 1,000 crores. So that's the called power of compounding. And you know, so let's say if it is growing at 25%, let's do this homework, because this power of compounding is, everybody knows what it is, but it is highly misunderstood by a lot of people. And as a human being, we have this biased approach, or a sort of limitation, I would say, that our human minds are not made to think big. So let's calculate, if 1 crore is growing at 25%, in 10 years it becomes 9.3 crores. But in 30 years it becomes 800 crores. You see, 1% के गैप पे 200 करोड़ का लॉस है 30 साल में. आप देखिए. So lot of people are not even able to digest कि 1 करोड़ 1,000 करोड़ हो सकता. आपको 30 साल मेंटेन करना, 30 साल हमें अपने फैमिली ऑफिस, अपने क्लाइंट्स के साथ काम करके उन्हें फैमिली ऑफिस बनाना. तो हमारा ये सपना है, मुकुंद का, चंदन का, देवांशु का, नोल का, कि हम हर एक क्लाइंट को फैमिली ऑफिस बनाना चाहते हैं. ये सपना घर से लेके चलते हैं जब भी मॉर्निंग में उठते हैं. भले ही हमारा पैसा बने ना बने, लेकिन इन्वेस्टर का पहले पैसा बनना चाहिए. ये सोच अगर रखे तो इन्वेस्टर इन्हें कभी नहीं छोड़ता है. और कभी इनका आप देखेंगे नहीं कि कोई ब्रोकर को ट्रांसफर होता है या ये होता है, कभी नहीं. बिकॉज दे वर्क वेरी क्लोजली. एंड अभी जैसे इन्वेस्टर्स है, अभी इस समय पे बहुत गुस्से में है, क्योंकि 2 ढाई साल से रिटर्न नहीं बना. सो बट वो बिहेवियर मैनेज करना और उसे कंपाउंडिंग बताना, और कई बार उसे गुस्से से डांटना कि नहीं पैसा निकालने दूंगा सर, आप जो भी बोले, मैं खड़ा हूं सामने, मेरे डेड बॉडी से निकलो तब पैसा निकालो. वी दे गिव दैट काइंड ऑफ message to the client. And this is how wealth is created. Because wealth कंपाउंड करने के लिए पूरी ताकत आपको रोकेगी. और ये मन ऊपर से चंचल है, और आपको टीवी चालू करेंगे तो आपको न्यूज लेटर में न्यूज हेडिंग आएगी कि आज 1 लाख करोड़ लॉस हो गया मार्केट में, एआई इंडिया को खत्म कर देगा, blah blah blah. But then you will see that India will also start adopting AI and eventually grow. So you can also do this. So you have to think big, think positive, understand the power of compounding. Don't bother about market volatility. In fact, make them as friend. So what we do in order to deal with volatility is that sometimes we book profits when you have very high valuations. May say if Nifty becomes 30 ka P, that is the time we book some profits. And when we see these difficult phase like the war happening between America and Iran, that is the time when markets are correcting. That is the time we redeploy the money. Until then, we keep it in liquid funds. I still remember 2024, a client gave us 1 crore and we had about 50% cash in the portfolio. We can share it with you in one-on-one. And that money is now growing at still about 20%. So some prerequisite philosophy, inquisitive mind. Yeah, this is the most important. You know, if you're not passionate about learning things, then very difficult to create value. You have to be coachable. And a lot of people, a lot of us, including me, feels that I am coachable. But then when somebody starts coaching us, we don't follow them because our mindset is always like that. So practice may you need vision to see, courage to buy, patience to hold. If nobody had the vision of investing in Infosys when it got listed at 50 crores of market cap, today the market cap is more than 3 lakh crores. So imagine how many times it has grown and how many people had the courage to buy. And JP Morgan had the courage to bail out the IPO by giving 6 crores to Mr. Narayan Murthy. And that's how the IPO came in that point of time in 1993. And then patience to hold. Those who are still holding Wipro, their 10,000 rupees invested in Wipro in 1981. Today it is almost 650 crores. So that kind of patience is required and monitor it. So 25 years of my experience, but the dilemma is that what to buy. But the question is, once I understood what to buy, then how much to buy? That's very important. And therefore, we do these investments through AIFs, category 1, category 2, category 3, discretionary, non-discretionary PMSS. And allocation matters. There are times when if AIF is doing well, but because of the ticket size, it is 1 crore, we don't want to put too much of money on AIF, so, but if that is working well for us, then why not? I have a client whose 100% portfolio is in AIFs. See, AIF, PMS, and mutual fund are instruments. It is not an investment, it's an investment vehicle in which you sit and ride through the journey of the markets. So, probability to win, what we look at is in AIF, SIF, and PMS is probability to win. In fact, recently we got this award from a platform, and this is nothing but an testimonial to our hard work that we are putting. We were awarded as the best platform for investing in AIFs. And one of the reasons for that is because we've done a lot of homework. We have a research team whose full-time job is to do complete end-to-end research, which is process-driven wealth creation. We meticulously follow our investing process. We have investment style. I talked about it, style like value. So investor क्या करते हैं कि भाई एक आईसीसी में भी डाल दिया, एक एक्सिस एक्सिस में भी डाल दिया पैसा, 50-50 लाख, उनको लगा डिवर्सिफिकेशन हो गया. But actually, it is not diversification, it is a duplication because both of them follow value investing. Just example I'm saying. So we see to it that we do a lot of work there. This is our sole framework. So we believe in high skill and high knowledge, and that translates into high luck. We don't believe in low skill. So therefore, we don't give money to any fund manager who is low in terms of a skill set. We always follow a very, very focused approach. We don't believe in investing in 40, 50 different instruments. Maybe 4 or 5 best managers, that's it. You are done. You don't need too many managers. So the question is, if there are 1600 AIS, 1200 PMS, 18 SIF, 600 mutual fund, which one will you follow? Which one will you look at? How would you look at? So all that you leave it on us. But before we take any portfolio, that 4 keys to successful focus investing that we put up in front of the client is that what is your portfolio goal? आप ये पैसे का गोल क्या रिटर्न बनाना चाहते? We first put the clear portfolio goal. Second is absolutely superior selection of investment vehicle according to your size of the portfolio. Then rational of allocating. We put 25% money abroad. That's how we look at international investing. And active monitoring, which is the most important aspect. So my Guruji, Ramdevji says double every 3 years. I would say double every 4 years, which means if your portfolio is giving you 17% around returns, then you actually double your investment in 4 years. We have done that in many clients' portfolio and take pride of doing so. And that is why they are associated with us. Some common mistakes to avoid: under allocation, over allocation, or biasness in terms of our minds. As I said, get biased sometimes, maybe recency bias, for example. Right now, everything is going bad. Everything is going bad. You have war, you have blend, which has gone up to beyond 100. Inflation numbers are going up, reserves are coming down, rupee is getting depreciated, the economy is in trouble. I mean, AI is picking up. India doesn't have any AI thing. I mean, talk about, you open the newspaper, you are surrounded with too many negative news. And Rahul Gandhi is saying that Narendra Modi will go away in 1 year time, etc., etc. And Didi is joining Rahul Gandhi. I mean, you see, everything is happening. But then, if this is the time, I would say that you should be greedy when others are fearful, then you should be fearful when others are greedy. And this is not today's concept of investing. This has been into existence for ever since, I would say, the humanity took place. You remember the old banyas? They would be the one who would prefer to buy somebody else's home when he is vacating and going out, because he knows that he needs money and he would be selling it at a lowest price. So you have to have, you should not follow a biased herd mentality. When everybody is negative on equities, I think that's the time you have to be positive on equity. And when the Panthela wala will give you advice, that is the time you understand that time has come that you should exit from equities. Very important that you monitor and then build about 1,000 crores of portfolio. But first, you have to build 100 crores of portfolio. Now, the point that we would help our client to prepare the plan is to tell them that, look, for you, first important aspect is your financial security. What happens if you're not there? So, are you completely insured? And we don't do insurance business. So, we tell them, if they are not fully insured, go and get yourself insured. Then second thing is, they need complete freedom of choice. Family needs it. Uh, they don't want to be binded or, uh, you know, controlled by anybody. They need complete freedom to travel abroad. What do they do with that money if they don't enjoy with that money? Some people we see, they keep on creating wealth. Well, they don't, they're very कंजूस. 1 रुपया भी वो खर्चा नहीं करते. तो उससे क्या होता है कि वेल्थ तो क्रिएट हो जाता है, लेकिन उस वेल्थ का करे क्या? Ultimately you want to leave that wealth. No, some people say that, look, I want to make this wealth grow for next 7 generations. So we help them create a personal trust. एंड वो ट्रस्ट में भी मूव द इंटायर एसेट टू द ट्रस्ट. उसमें ट्रस्ट में लिखते हैं, कई लोग लिखते हैं कि मेरी बेटी का बेटे का बेटी, बेटी या बेटा अगर गूंगा या बहरा निकला, तो पूरा उनका घर का खर्चा, उस बच्चे की पढ़ाई का खर्चा इस ट्रस्ट से जाना चाहिए. पर अगर मेरी बेटी का बेटे का बेटे का बेटी अगर वेल टू डू है, तो उसको ये ट्रस्ट से 1 रुपए भी नहीं मिलना चाहिए. और वेल टू डू की डेफिनेशन डाल दिया है कि 1 करोड़ ऑफ इनकम, इन्फ्लेशन को कंट्रोल करते हुए उस समय का. So lot of calculation goes behind. So there are major goals. Somebody say that, look, I want to buy a Mercedes or Rolls Royce, whatever, or whichever way. So beyond traditional market, the HNI blueprint, a light wealth builder, I talked about it, alpha generation that we do, and then alternative investments. Particularly in alternates, we are more bullish on private markets. When I say private market, is to do it through category two. I would not be discussing too much, but leave it on you to talk to our relationship managers, and they will help you with that, like venture capitalist fund, which invest in emerging startups now. Recently, we got a company called Agnicool from Chennai, and they create a solution for rockets to or the mid-size rockets to go to this thing through with help of NASA. Um, so what we do is, this company, that those I made one of my investors invest in that company, and that company is now, within I think 6 years, the company has delivered. has grown to the tune of 30x, 30 times, which means the 100 crore of valuations that point of time has become 30,000 crores. So a lot of money is made over there. So good thing about that is it's a high barrier outside return. Only 0.001% of the investors are doing investments there. Those who are doing are successful there. Market in solution, unlocking private alpha, then going beyond AIFs, like international equities that I talked about. There are few pockets like Vietnam, Taiwan for that matter, South Korea, Brazil, Switzerland. I mean, these are few places where you see good amount of growth happening, maybe because of AI, etc. And because in mutual fund you can't invest there because of the restrictions and limitation from government of India. We do it through Gift City route. So there are ways of doing it. We do real estate, and real estate we do it by the way with help of category two invest vehicle. For example, you know that in Ayodhya there is no land parcel available at this point of time because the demand is very high. A lot of hotel management companies wants to enter the place, and we have AIF manager who is buying a piece of land and selling it with a margin of about 25% every 3 years. So likewise, we have a few manufacturers there because they buy in bulk, they get that kind of deals available, and we do complete real estate through AIF route and very successfully able to do so. Uh, the long way vision is beating inflation and volatility, strategic asset allocation, then resilient growth through diversification. Your part to 100 crores is adapt a long-term perspective, explore private markets, and seek professional guidance. So we sit together, sit with fund managers, sit with client, and then help them create the wealth. Somebody says that, look, I don't have that kind of money. I'm a salaried guy. So you're a salaried guy, and even if you do SIP of 3 lakh rupees every month, then you end up reaching 100 crores of portfolio in 25 years of time. So that's how we do it. In fact, in our portfolio, we have, as I said, 70% allocation through AIFs and PMSs. 20% we do overseas investing, and 10% we put in gold or silver as an asset class. You see, I was talking about 3 lakhs. If you continue to do for 25 years, your portfolio size is about 260 crores. So that's how we calculate the portfolio. With that, I'd like to conclude my presentation here, wishing you a very successful 100 crore journey with focus investing. Thank you so much. This is our team. Uh, all of them are very passionate about equity investing and track each of the asset classes very carefully. Private markets. So we have Mr. Mukund who tracks the complete private markets in terms of how many deals are happening there, how many startups have raised funds. He go to an extent of talking to startup and making clients to speak to them. We have Govind is extremely good at mutual funds. He would pick up a unique mutual fund uh, and make you start SIPs there. So each of one of them are extremely capable. Um, we have Mr. Chandan. He does complete PMS research end to end. He would advise some of the unique managers which you would have never heard about, and they have a sort of track record of delivering close to 45% CAGR returns for 7, 8 long years. Now, these are not small number, and by any standard, any of the mutual fund don't even come closer to that. We have Mr. Shubham, he looks after B2B. B2B is basically there are some family offices and some mid-sized managers. They would like to have some B2B deals taking place. So he looks after that. We have Mr. Neeraj. He does complete study on Gift City. There is no fund in. So he has actually onboarded 350 Gift City funds on our platform in the last 1 year. He's been instrumental in terms of bringing those funds to our table and raising funds for them. So he's played very, very important role over there. So we have extraordinary team. working with us. So with that, I would like to conclude here. Thank you so much. Thank you.